G'day viewers. Well, the hot political story of the day in Australia is Independent Senator Glenn Lazarus and what he said he'd do to get Prime Minister Tony Abbott's attention. Glenn Lazarus is very concerned about coal seam gas and his constituents who don't want fracking to happen where they live and try to run farms. It is remarkable how unpopular fracking is with people who rely on the land where fracking will happen to farm and live. Now, Lazarus fairly accurately thinks the government's paying no attention whatsoever to the people who oppose fracking. So he held a press conference to say he's going to get Abbott's attention. Now, Lazarus, fairly colourful character. He was signed on to the Palmer United Party before he left, saying that Clive Palmer, he's a bit of a knob, isn't he? And so now he's independent. He's a former footballer, big front row forward, was known as the Brick with Eyes, christened by Roy and HG. Best sporting commentators ever. And he used some rather colourful rugby league terms to say how aggressively he'd go after Abbott, including a Roy and HG term. He said he'd squirrel grip him. For those who don't know, which is probably a majority of people, don't know what squirrel gripping is, that is when you tackle someone actually reaching up between their legs and crushing their balls. It gets better. After referring to a few fairly brutal types of tackles, a grapple tackle, a chicken wing, things that would basically fucking hurt people, he said if pushed, he'd go the Hopewadi. This is a reference to John Hopewadi, who was a footballer, had a very controversial career, and I think without doubt his most controversial moment was the game where he decided a good tactic was to jam his fingers up opposing players' asses. He did it 3 times in a game, and it's not subtle. I'll point you to where you can see a little bit of video. It's not subtle. He just straight up goes, I think I'll dive up. No one knows what was going through the guy's mind. It's fucking unprecedented. And lots of weird shit happens in football, like squirrel gripping. But just casually, I think I'll jam a finger up your ass. No one knew what that is. So yes, in summary, Senator Glenn Lazarus, and of course he doesn't literally mean it, more's the pity, he's just being colourful and trying to get some coverage for a very important topic, but in his colourful way, he has said he's gonna crush Tony Abbott's balls, and if that doesn't get his attention, he's gonna jam his fingers up Abbott's ass. I don't think I'm going too far to say Glenn Lazarus speaks for all Australians. Please don't comment that that's going too far. I know he doesn't speak for all Australians. Well, there you go. I've slightly diverged. It's still about Australian politics, but not specifically talking about... I couldn't let that go. That's today's vagina for a video every day in July, if nothing arises. I will continue on with these. Thank you very much for your feedback. Thank you for the support you've all been showing. It's the number one thing that can help me. If you happen to like what I do and want to help me, subscribe if you're not subscribed, and then share on your social medias, the Facebooks and Twitters and anything else that strikes your fancy. Still going strong. I'll hopefully have Aidsy in this week for at least a couple of videos. I will keep going in the meantime, see if I can keep up my video every day for the month of July, which means I will see you again very soon.